as we move on to the 65cc class. Jeff, as we look forward to the final race here, championship situation again. This one is almost as close.
Oh, good, because if it's anything, if it's half as good as that last one, you know, okay, listen, that last race, it didn't necessarily, you know, have like back and forth, and they were, you know, changing leads all the time, but it was intense.
Yeah.
And you could tell how much it meant, and you know, quite rightly so. It's just awesome, you know, and you know, obviously, massive well done to Hayden Statt. You know, obviously, commiserations to Robbie Daly after, you know, coming so close and leading the championship. But you know, sometimes it's a bitter pill to swallow, but it will make him a better man, young man, better person, better racer for it.
Yep. Sure.
You won't feel like that right now.
Nope.
But you know, sometimes you have to take your medicine, and you know, you come back stronger, and that's basically the way he's gonna have to look at it. He'll go away in the off season, and he should use that as motivation. You know, bitter pill right now, hard to take, but he'll bounce back.
Yeah, for sure. And then as we see Clark, of course, Darren Batchelor on screen there, and Eloise on the board there. Eloise Massey, our media manager, as Lee shrugs his shoulders there on the start line. But yeah, so we have the 65cc class about to line up. Now this one, like I say, is almost as close. Casey Lister was about 7 seconds faster in qualification yesterday, and he maintained that pace. He came into the weekend 20 points back from Marty Spires, the number 22 rider, as they make their way through to the starting line now. And yeah, so Casey Lister won all 3 races yesterday, and looked like Marty Spires, who only needed to finish second in every race to take it to the end there. But Marty Spires fell on the last lap of race 2. It was a heavy crash over a tabletop. He got up, which at the time, because I saw it live, did surprise me how quickly he got up there, the number 22 rider, but he did recover to 5th place. That basically means they're 5 points apart. There is our number 22 rider, Marty Spires, championship leader with the red plate there. He's 5 points ahead of Casey Lister. If Lister wins, Spires must be second, or Lister will take the championship. That's the situation.
Blimey.
Do you like that?
I love that. I love that. They won't.
They really won't. No, the full-on stress for the teams and the riders.
Yeah, and the parents. Yeah, so nervy times, but you know, for the neutral and for you guys wherever you are in the world, it's always good to go into any close championship battle, and that's exactly what we've got. 1 race, 5 points in it. This is going to be close.
Yeah, 2 riders there with famous fathers in the screen. Nixon Coppins and Chad Prince there. Number 44, Jackson Ross, trying to get attention. And the number 311, Archie Butterfield. Ethan Gawley up the inside of the dog house, as they call it there. Number 32, also on our screens there. That's Alfie Cotter. And you're seeing Cohen Jagielski actually had a good day yesterday. He's lying 3rd equal in the points. So the podium, as Alfie Cotter just drops his bike on the grid there, so I hope he's okay. Just get himself sorted.
Yeah,
through.
He's going to need somebody to give him a hand there. Yeah. Obviously, it's got to be one of our track crew have got to help him out. As soon as they leave the Parc Fermé, the waiting zone, whatever you want to call it, that's it. They can't have any help or assistance from parents or teams. Only our crew down there can help them out, which obviously for some of the smaller riders, we got to look at that because they are still very young kids. And as you can see, he's definitely short in the leg and needs those start blocks. That's probably why he tippled over, actually, because he couldn't touch the ground properly. Yeah. There we go, though. All set. Here we go. Here we go.
It is between Casey Lister, number 125, and Marty Spires, number 22. Cohen Jagielski, number 75, and Arthur Moore riding number 671. They are equal 3rd in the points for the weekend as well, coming through here. Riley Ray Barrow, the 118, who is also running the Team GB graphics on his little bike today. He's there currently lying 5th in this race weekend. And Jet Gardner has also had a good weekend so far on the number 14 bike on the MGMX KTM. So, yeah, looking forward to this one. 125 and number 22 are the 2 riders duking it out for the championship, but the other riders will be very keen to get in the mix as well, as the eyes prepare to head towards Eloise there with the board. And the 15-second board is up there. And what a great shot. We can see all the riders there together with the bright yellow sleeves is Casey Lister, bright red kit for Marty Spires. All the other riders revving up as they prepare to go here at the start line for their final race of the year.
Just because it reminds me so much. Anyway, here we go.
Down, and they are go. As Jagielski got a decent jump up the inside, but it looks like Lister straight away has grabbed the whole shot here in the final race. Up the inside is Jet Garner. A bit of a collision there between Nixon Coppins and the number 16 of Teddy Merriman, but Lister is out in front ahead of Jet Gardner. Spires is third. He's got a decent start. He rails around the outside of Jet Gardner. Absolutely. Straight into second place. That's where he needs to finish, and he will be champion. If anybody gets past Marty Spires, the championship is going the way of Casey Lister. That's how it's going to pan out in this race here with 13 minutes plus a lap to go.
I don't know how I'd play that as a parent, not as not as the rider, as a parent. I'm not sure what I'd be telling my kid right now. I'd be like, do you know what? Just sit in there for a lap or two. Just see where you're at, and then beyond that, I mean, does he? I think he's still got to keep charging. Can't be too comfortable in second. No. He's got to try and.
Yeah, just try and progress ahead of you, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, Lister has had the pace of everybody this weekend, even doubling his way into the first wave section there, which no one else is doing in this 65cc class. So there's part of the reason why he's so much faster straight away. But yeah, Spires is getting a good lead there. Good battle going on for third place. Arthur Moore just coming out in front there of Jet Gardner as they come down the hill. Arthur Moore is going to finish, barring disaster, Arthur Moore will finish third in the championship. So he's certainly a class rider in this field. And also Jagielski trying to make his way higher up as well. There goes Moore in third with Gardner fourth. Riley Ray Barrow up there in fifth place, the same Mad for Motocross livery as Robbie Daly in the previous race. Moore looks over his shoulder. Gardner is now coming under pressure. Riley Ray Barrow and Jagielski all over him. Those two riders are battling it out. So Moore looking to hold on to the podium position overall in this meeting with this position. Very tricky down there. Deep ruts, of course. The pros have been out, cut up the track much deeper than it was yesterday.
Yeah, exactly that. And these, not only were the foot pegs ground in on these little 65, the ruts are so deep that some of the radiator shrouds, literally the top of the exhaust, it would be up to the riders, genuinely, the top of their boots in some of these ruts. So these little kids have got to get their leg off the bike, out the other side of the rut. But again, we've said before, this is national level motocross. It's tough. It's not a club meeting. It just, and in some ways, when the track gets that rough and whatever, it's actually safer for the kids because it slows them down and kind of makes them think about it, So it's when it's somewhere in between and a little bit faster with choppy head bumps that it might be more difficult for them, as in more mistakes. This slows them down and makes them think. But more importantly, it makes them better riders.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's you can see the track is definitely different to yesterday. I mean, it was slightly drier than this yesterday. We had more sunshine with the overcast conditions, and there's like a heavy mist over the track last night, which made it quite damp this morning, as well as the fact they watered the circuit in the end. So yeah, from that sense, it's tricky conditions, and with the pros going out there earlier at their practice, they have already carved out some much deeper ruts than they saw yesterday, when you only had one class of full-size bikes going out. And yeah, so it's much more tricky for these young riders. A good battle going on here between Archie Stapley, the 184, and Cohen Jagielski, number 75. Having a good scrap. Jagielski progressing in that scrap, just passes Stapley there as they've moved ahead now of the of number 12, I think it is, of Arthur King, just behind them. Oh, it's getting very treacherous for those riders. Casey Lister is doing as he has done all weekend and pulling away out and clear at the front. So it is down to whether or not anybody can get onto terms with Marty Spires. There is Leo Wilson, as Arthur Moore is also running those graphics there for the Team GB outfit. They enjoyed their trip to Finland, I'm sure, and they'll be out representing the Brits in the Coup de l'Avenir in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, that'll be a cracking event. If you can afford it, I know things are tight for this winter and they're going to be difficult, but honestly, get to that event. If you can, it's only just over the Eurotunnel or on a ferry, probably about an hour 45 to the track there in Belgium. Brilliant circuit. Dave Garland has put together a great team of young British talent. It's effectively the under-21s of the Motocross of Nations, really. It's not officially, but it's kind of like that. I've had the privilege of being the Team GB manager and then sort of handed the reins over to Dave. He's doing a great job with it. So if you can get over there to cheer on our Brits, it's a brilliant event to go to. The atmosphere's great. They lay on evening entertainment. It's just a lovely little circuit, a natural grass circuit. Brilliant. So if you can make it, go. Trust me, you'll be glad you did.
Yeah, many top riders from this country over the years have gone over there and won. Somebody like Neil Hudson, Dave Thorpe, and Kurt Nichol also made his way over there. I saw Jason Higgs one year, went across at one. Yeah, that's it. So, it's certainly got lots of prestige, that event. And, hopefully the Brits will go over there and fly the flag well. As we see Cohen Jagielski in shot, just crossing the line now in 5th place, battling out with Arthur Moore for the overall podium this weekend. But Moore has got a an 8-second advantage over Jagielski at least. In fact, it's 10 seconds over Jagielski, who's dropped there back to 7th place in that lap. So, not a great lap for the number 75 rider. Jet Gardner up in 6th, Leo Wilson 5th, and Leo had a massive crash in the first race yesterday on the final jump before the finish line, literally before taking the checkered flag, which brought a slight premature stop to the race. So Leo Wilson recovered from that, and he's out there well in 5th place. Riley Ray Barrow, another JMR Foundation back rider, up into 4th place. But that battle at the front, Lister has not pulled away from Spires as much as he did yesterday. Is Lister slowing down to slow the pace up? Because Lister just pulled away and disappeared yesterday, and at the moment, that gap is coming down.
Would he do that? I tell you what, if
I know they're only young riders, but
I was just going to say, if he is doing
would
that,
there be instructions from the pit board or before the race, for seeing this situation?
Then the kids are smarter than I give them credit for. If they're already thinking about that kind of racecraft at that age, I can't see he'd want to do that. But maybe, just to pinch him up, to all their riders get back up, and basically to give Marty like a problem in his head, like, what do I do? Do I overtake him? Do I stay as then riders behind him catching him? I can't believe he's doing that. But if he is, Casey, that's what a strategy.
Yeah, it's difficult to know. He's looking over.
Yeah,
he's looking over. I think he's aware of this because he was, not to disrespect anybody in this field, but he was 7 seconds faster in qualifying. And he was about that through most of the race yesterday. So all respect to Marty Spires. He's fighting for a championship. He's just racing on. But I don't think this is Spires. It's not. Look, Lister's looking over. There's definitely no doubt about it. Casey is looking to back them up and trying to get Arthur Moore to catch Marty Spires, because as it stands now, Spires has a 3-second gap over Moore. So, and Moore is the next in the championship here, so he is perhaps on their pace. But Jeff's grinning at me here, thinking, why are they doing this at what age they are?
I'm laughing because, I'm smiling because the power of social media and the fact that all these kids, now watch videos, they watch the AMA, they watch the Supercross, and it just goes to show how attentive they are. They learn from it. They've probably seen other riders do this, in whatever other championships. I'd never have thought of that, at my age. But like I said, now they see it all, and it's more of a thing. And I'm just laughing at the fact how social media and videos and the way we are in the world now, how you can gather and process that information, and kids learn it so quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Jagielski just moved past Jet Gardner in that lap, but all the attention's at the front at the moment with Casey Lister on the screen. We did see these sort of tactics in the big Well 85cc class last year. Ben Musto had to get somebody between himself and Tyler Hooley to win the championship and tried to back them up to Walbini and a couple of other riders in that class last year here at this event. So, it's obviously been filtered down through that's what he must do. If he is to take the championship, he needs somebody else to beat Marty Spires in this race.
Well, he's I think he's definitely doing it. He's super casual at the minute. It's like he's out, literally just like on his sighting lap. Well, he is. You can tell he's just, he is deliberately slowed down the pace, unless he's got some kind of problem.
Whoa, sorry, Spires is coming around the outside of him, coming into this Max's Tyres corner. Now, how is Spires going to react to this sort of sudden event where Lister is appearing in front of him? It's going to be very tricky to see. Lister goes wide there. But still, Spires had 2.7 seconds was the gap at the start of this lap.
Look at that. It's obvious.
He's looking over. And Moore is not a million miles away. There was 2.7 between Lister and Spires, about that between Spires and Moore. And now Spires has started to pick up that double jump going into the wave section. So he also is doing the first double. There are 6 of those waves. Obviously, the pros are doing double, double, double. Be interesting to see if Conrad Muse does triple, triple, like he did on a 250 last year. That's for later in the day. But even so, Spires is picking up on that double, and he is catching him. And how is this going to play out? Is Moore going to get in amongst them? Does Moore want to?
Well, that's exactly why he's doing it. He's putting him in a situation where he's going to soon enough have to make a decision. He can't sit there in second and be picked off by Arthur Moore. He is, literally Lister is going to continue to slow the pace. I mean, look how close Arthur Moore is now.
Yeah.
And I'd like to point out, by the way, this is race strategy. There's nothing in the rule book to say you can't start slowing down. It's your discretion, you can't get penalised, nothing like that. This is just good racecraft, to try and win a championship. What do you do?
Yeah, it's a very strange situation, especially with these young riders. I mean, it's pretty crazy to think. So 9 to 12-year-olds are starting to pick up on this. In fact, they're younger, aren't they, in this class, isn't it? 8 to 11, I think. So, yeah, from that side of it, Marty Spires there. 2.7 seconds is still the gap across the stripe. It's 2.2 that time. So, yeah, he's caught up half a second. But Moore is only a second and a half behind. Leo Wilson in 4th place is just at the fastest lap as he passes Riley Ray Barrow. And look at this. Arthur Moore is closing in on Marty Spires, who obviously must be slightly put off. I mean, I'm sure he is also aware of what Lister is doing. He's suddenly catching him and he's looking all over his shoulders like he's got somebody tapping them on them. And yeah, this is scary stuff for Marty Spires, because if Arthur Moore goes through, then Casey Lister is champion. Not to say that Casey doesn't deserve it. I mean, he's won plenty of races this year. He's actually won the 4 races before this weekend and all 3 so far. So he's actually won 7 compared to Marty Spires' 3. And yeah, he's got to say he's got the pace. But yeah, he's had a couple of very rough races as Casey Lister. 11th in race 1 at Culham, 16th race 1 at Fat Cat. So yeah, he's obviously those first 2 bogey races there have really troubled him. But Marty Spires had an 18th in race 3 at Whitby, which closed up the points here as well. So it's getting very close. They've only got the 4 rounds of the championship, the 65cc, but this is going to the wire, Jeff.
It absolutely is. I have to say, Marty Spires is riding a good race under the situation that he's in. I mean, because he's sussed it by now. I mean, if he hasn't worked it out what's going on, he's seen literally Lister keep looking in behind him, but he hasn't become rattled. He hasn't tried to force a move on him. I think he's conscious, obviously, of where Arthur is now behind him. If he's not, I'd like to think his pit crew are definitely telling him. But look how they're now pinched up. And they're going to continue to pinch Marty into a position where sooner or later he's going to have to go past him.
Yeah, he's going to have to make a move, and that, of course, leaves him open to a move back from Casey Lister, which could then disturb him and let Moore through. So there's all sorts of permutations as to what's going to happen here. Who would have known that a 65cc championship battle would have come to this tactics? And look at Leo Wilson. Leo Wilson is charging. He was 5 seconds back, 4 and a bit seconds back from Moore at the start of this lap, and now he is knocking on the door. So is it that situation where they're just all slowing down and wondering what's going on? Wilson's just charging on and catching them all up. Riley Ray Barrow not a million miles away in 5th place now as well. So what a championship situation we've got here. Lister round the outside goes Spires. Oh, Lister looks over at him. Spires takes the lead. And Marty Spires goes around the outside of Casey Lister. Now what is Casey going to do? We have got the last lap board is about to come out. Time has expired. 0 on the clock. So this is it. And Lister holds him up. Lister goes back in front. Spires gets held up in the corner, but Moore is not close enough. Oh, someone down on the straight in between them. Oh, wow.
And again, basically what I'm saying is Casey's doing everything he's got to do, but he's doing it fairly. That was just a legitimate nice block pass. He didn't try to knock him off or anything like that. He just blocked him.
Tried to hold him up.
Just tried to hold him up. So I'm not going to call out any bad. He's just doing whatever he's got to do to win a championship, and credit to him.
Absolutely.
It's a big deal for these kids.
It really is. Casey looked over his shoulder at the top of that hill, looked round and actually shook his head. So I think he's starting to disbelieve the situation. Look, he's looking over his left shoulder, and Marty's coming up past the right one. Leo Wilson has set the fastest lap on the last race. To give you an idea, that's a 2 minute 41, and then that's compared to 2 minutes 44. The message on our screen says 38 seconds. There's no way anyone's doing a lap that fast.
No, definitely not. Well,
it could be 2:38. Oh, right, here goes Spires up the inside of Lister. Lister holds on to the lead. He's got to win it. Of course, he has to win it. There's no doubt about that. But Moore is nowhere near them. Moore has absolutely backed it right off. So I don't think Casey's going to get any help.
So Marty is, he's just doing, I think Marty's now looked over his shoulder, but Marty is doing everything right in this. It's obviously a situation he's never been in before. He's going for a championship. He's probably never had to deal with tactics like this before. And he is ridden a real smart race. I just saw him a little while ago. He took a look back just to check where Arthur Moore was, the riders behind. Like he said, he's just dropped back a little bit now. He doesn't want to mix it up again with Casey like he did before on that finish corner. He knows he's on the last lap. He's got to concentrate so hard But is that Arthur Moore right behind him again?
I think it might be Wilson, in fact. Wilson was on a charge. I can't quite see it. Obviously, trackside viewers will know what's happening there. But one of the riders, they're both on white bikes, Moore and Wilson. It is Wilson. Wilson is flying up the inside with a black crash helmet. He could make a right mess of this. If he passes Spires, it's all over for Spires.
Does he now know, though? That's the point. Does Marty realise that it's Wilson behind him now and not Moore? He might be looking over his shoulder for
Lister's
Moore.
looking round. This is right there, getting in Marty's way.
This is intense,
and here comes Wilson. He's definitely the rider with the speed and the momentum. There's a rider up the inside line here. Oh, if that rider gets it wrong. No, he just got out that we did get it wrong, but Spires went around him.
Marty made a smart decision to come out of that
He did.
rut.
Very smart decision.
Oh, he's just got to get round these next two corners.
Two
He's got
corners
enough
to
gap.
go. What's Casey going to do? He has to win it still.
He does have to win it, so that's it. I mean, he's just got to get round this corner, Marty Spires.
I think Lister's thrown in the towel. I think he's just not doing anything about it now. He does. He parks it. Oh no, he stalled it. He stalled it, worrying. He stalled it, worrying. And Marty Spires takes the race win and the championship after passing him on the final corner, Jeff. What about that one?
Incredible. That was, do you know, Casey genuinely just kind of messed up. And he comes to congratulate him, Leo Wilson, and then crashes into him. Incredible. I'm going to give you the pleasure of talking to these kids. It's your turn to get down there. We're going to go to a quick advert. Do you know what? What a race. What tactics from these kids. Brilliant. Obviously, Casey is disappointed that he didn't win the championship, but I'm sure he'll congratulate Marty later on. I don't think he could. We're going to go to a quick ad. We're going to go out there and speak to your own.